I feel emotional pressure in my family. I fear because my father harmed himself in anger. So living at home, this is making me negative in my mind. What can I do to not let it affect me and not let me do that? So I remember Evans was one of his suggestions was for you to get, move out of the home. Um,
Or at least to have a plan to do it. Like, ultimately, you could be the one who saves your dad. But you have to build up the strength to be able to do that. And you're not going to do that being around him. How do you get out of that situation? You have to get out. I mean, it may not happen today, but how do you get out of that situation as soon as possible so you can start to live your own version of your life?
And Jack, one of the reasons Evan is saying that to you right now is because that's going to give you a new future, something to look forward to, give you a bigger hope, a bigger vision that what you're going through right now is temporary because you got a better future. So one of the first things we need to do is when a person is going through what you're going through is give them a better outlook on life. And that would shift your mentality because there's something better. Even what you're going through right now, this is not the end. This is just temporary. Number two, I'm going to add to what Evan said, and if Drew want to add in, he can, because I know Drew's concentrating on the game. But number two, Jack, we're your friends, and sometimes you need to get around other people so that you can have another perspective. So start coming here every single day so that we can support you, we can give you guidance, we can give you positivity, we can be here to communicate with you because you're not in this by yourself. So start coming here every single day. Okay? We're your friends.
Yeah, the advice yesterday is still the same advice, but now we can actually workshop it a little bit more. Like in the short run, if you ever have those kind of super negative suicidal thoughts, you have to talk to somebody so that you're not by yourself. And it's, you're probably not talking to your dad about it, right? So whether it's us and we're here, whether it's, another friend of yours, to not be by yourself. Because when you're by yourself with those thoughts, something stupid might happen.
Yeah.
So that's a super, short term when that happens. Just don't be alone and be willing to tell some of the people around you who you trust that these are some of the things that you're dealing with and going through, and you'll have people who will support you through it. But you can't be alone. And now you need to start working on the plan to leave.
And we'll help you with that.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you never come back, but right now, for your own mental sanity, you need to find a way out.
Yeah, grateful. And thus sometimes in life, everyone gets these thoughts. And is it possible that never this thought comes to me or never think to quit no matter what to me mentally strong? So the thoughts you talk about suicidal thoughts, Jack? I mean, what thoughts are you talking about?
Everything is possible. Can you work towards it? Absolutely. Is it possible? Yes. Don't worry about making that your goal right now, though. Right? So even if you do move out and it happens again and you get these thoughts, great. Don't feel like you're a failure because now you have the thoughts again. What you want to do is instead focus on, okay, I'm going to go back to what I need to do, which is I need to talk to a friend. I need to call somebody. I need to come back to the live stream. I got to say hi.
Jack, you may not have ever heard this before, but it's 100% true. You are not your thoughts. You are not your thoughts, and you can't control what you think about. And we can explore that later, but you are not your thoughts. Just because you have a thought, that doesn't mean you have to accept it and think it and become it. You can change your thoughts. You are in control of your thoughts. Just because a thought come to you doesn't mean you have to own it.
Okay, so Jack, how do we get a transition plan for you to get out of, you're not living there anymore? What do you need to do?
Yeah. And yeah, as we get more into it, we'll talk about habitual thoughts and stuff like that, how you can change all that. Jack says, yeah, I got it, Evan and Zan. Good. And Jack, the biggest thing for you right now, I really believe the biggest thing for you that's going to really change your life the most is to keep showing up here. Keep showing up here. This is going to make the biggest difference in your life because it's going to be a process. In India, we have ashram of many gurus where I can go and live for free and serve there for life. But it's difficult to live there and not practical for the whole life. So I would go to other city to work.
Great. Either one. Don't worry about having a whole life plan right now. That's not what you need.
Right.
You just need to get out of the situation that you're in. That's what we need right now. You don't need a whole life plan. So if it's going to an ashram and you're there for 6 months, and even just that could be a life-changing experience. Talking about going from chaos and people hurting each other and the stress that you're under right now versus going to an ashram is total opposite.
Mm-hmm.
That experience alone could be really worth it for you. If you want to go and get a job so that you can afford to move out, great. Good plan B. Like either one can work. The key is just to get out as soon as possible so that you can start your process of healing and also just discovering who you are, not being having to live your parents' version of your life.
And Jack, let me add this. In the West over here, we use different, sayings and whatever. One of the sayings we use here is, "You are a product of your environment," and that is so true. So when you change your environment, you change your life. Because when you change your environment, your thoughts, your feelings, your energy, everything's different. So by getting out of that environment and getting yourself in a different environment, it's going to change everything. You have different thoughts. Those thoughts create different feelings. Those feelings create different behavior. Thoughts, feelings, behaviors. It's all connected. So changing your environment makes a big, huge, giant, big difference.
So which one feels more right? Job or ashram?
Yeah.
Like right now, which one feels more right?
He says, that's great not living a parent's version and changing environment. I'm going to do within this month. Ashram.
He's going to do the ashram.
Ashram, yeah.
All right. Yeah, listen, it's faster. Like you could just show up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? And say, "Hey, I want in." Where getting the job is a little more of a process to make that happen. But I love it.
Yeah.
And again, see it as like a 3-month. Here's what, if I'm you, I go in thinking this is a 3-month experiment.
Yes.
So doesn't mean you have to be a monk for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah. What's an ashram?
It's monk training.
Okay, gotcha. Because here, Jack, if you don't mind me sharing, here in the States, okay, at least here on the Western countries, well, at least I'm gonna speak for America. When we have people in our family or relatives, if someone's acting up, sometimes they would send them to their aunt and uncle's house for the summer, just for that environment to be changed. Then when they come back, they're a different person, or at least they're not. It's just my point is just changing environments makes you a different person, different perspective, the whole 9 yards. So I think that's great.
3-month trial. Doesn't mean you're going to be a monk for life, but having a different perspective and different way of thinking is good. It's going to be hard. There'll be things that you're not used to, but it's good. It's a good test. It's a good chance for you to be on your own, maybe for the first time, and and play with it. I think that's a good call. Try it, and if you don't like it after 3 months, you can move on.
So Evan, the next question is, when are you going to do it?
When am I going to do it?
No, I said that's going to be your next question. So Jack,
oh yeah, well, sure. Like when are we?
Are you going to start? Are you going to do it tomorrow? Next week? Give us a date. Give us a date. Give us a commitment. When are you going to do it, Jack?